Hello, friends. Today we're talking about Movado Group, ticker symbol MOV. They will be reporting this week on November 30th, and analysts are looking at a possible target price in the next 12 months of almost 36.50. That is almost a 27% upside. In the past month, they have gone up a 1.77%. Year to date, they're 11.8%. They were trading somewhere around the $34, $35, which is what the analysts are thinking. In the last 5 years, it's been going up and down. They went down during just before the pandemic, and they stayed somewhere around the 10, and then started to grow. They are 25% down. Dividend, they paid a small dividend of $1.40, but for dividend investors, that is almost a 5% dividend. And the question is this a company that we should be looking at adding to our portfolio? Just disclosure, I do have it in my portfolio. I do have a full position on it. I bought it at $27. I may add more if it drops. So once again, this is like I said all the time, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a YouTuber. This is for educational purposes. I just like to share my thoughts on a stock, and I like you guys, my community, to let me know what you guys think and where I'm getting it wrong, and what are things that I can do to maybe improve on some of this analysis that I'm doing. And so I really appreciate your feedback. Please leave a comment down below. If you like what I'm doing, please press the like button. It helps the algorithm, and better it will be if you are able to subscribe so that you are notified whenever one of these videos come out. Movado Group. What is Movado Group? They concentrate on making watches. They have the Movado brand, but they also own the Concord, the Olivia Burton, the Evel, and the MVMT brands. And they partner with Coach, Hugo Boss, Lacoste, Tommy Hilfiger, and Calvin Klein. And they're the ones that actually make the watches for those companies. So this is a company that I believe the reason why it has been going down, it went up during the pandemic because there was a thought that maybe people will want to spend money after just being home and not having, doing too much. So they splurge a little bit on themselves. And so that's, I think, part of the reason why it's going down is because people are thinking we're going to go into a recession. Well, my into a recession. My thinking is that normally during recessions, those that have money stay with money, and those that don't have money lose money. So, and that's the sad reality of what the data shows. So I believe that the people, the upper class will continue, and upper middle class will continue to spend money. So I think that they will be okay during a recession. And actually, in their investor presentation, they talk about that, how during the pandemic they're very resilient company during different situations that they have gone through, the financial crisis of the 2009, 2010, the introduction of the Apple Watch. A lot of people thought, well, they're not going to continue. Everybody's going to move to the Apple Watch. And then, of course, the pandemic. And they are resilient. They bounce back pretty quick, so they have a good management when it comes to that. They their most of their revenue 34 I mean their revenue 50% of their revenue come from licensed brands, which is Hugo Boss, Lacoste, and all Calvin Klein. um, 34% of their income come from own brands, which is the ones that we mentioned over here, and 15% comes from their companies, their stores. They have stores all around different places. They most of their presence, as you can see here, they have 46% in United States, 34% in Europe, 4% in Asia, 8% of Middle East, and 7% in the American. Another reason why the stock, I believe, is a little down. It has to do with some reports of the possibility of China being on financial trouble, and the Chinese upper class tend to spend a lot of money on luxury items, and also the sanctions that it has plagued against Russia because of the whole Ukraine war. So that is also part of what analysts think, that there might be having a little bit of issue coming up, and why it has gone down a little bit. When it comes to earnings, we have the last time they beat earnings, they did miss revenue for about $5 million. And like I said, they're going to be reporting on November 30th. They are looking to, the EPS estimate is almost double of what it was last quarter, and they don't have any revisions up or down. So that's some of the information. Let's go to the financials, the historical financial of the last 10 years. This company has grown revenue close to 3.6% in the past 10 years. And in the past 5 years, about 1.7%. So pretty steady, but there's only a dip, as you can see here, in 2020. Very consistent. When it comes to earnings, 2020 was a hard time for them. However, as you can see, they have been going up a little bit. I wouldn't put too much stock on this. This is a little bit of the problem with this company trying to evaluate is this a company that it's going to stay more in the $3 to $4 earnings per share, or are they going to go back to the medium of 2%? Their profit margins are somewhere around 9% in the last 5 years, which is pretty nice. When it comes to free cash flow, this is part of the reason why I like them, is because they have been growing their free cash flow somewhere around 9% in the last 10 years. I do believe that they're going to stay somewhere around the 3% once they get some things under control. And the average free cash flow in the past 5 years is of 11%, which I like. Book value, they're staying consistent. In the last 10 years, they only have grown about 2%. The return on equity is above 10% at 13%. Return of asset at 8.9%, and return of invested capital at 11.3%. So pretty nice. Dividend lately has been growing up. This is good for you guys, dividend investors. For me, I will be a little bit worried that they might cut some of that dividend, and then it will create a panic on the dividend investors. So if they maintain it, that's pretty nice. If not, like I said before in other videos, I prefer that they continue to buy shares, and they keep their debt low. And this is something that I like about them, is that they have had periods of no debt, or the debt is easily payable. The long-term debt is easily payable within a year if they use the average free cash flow of the past 5 years. So I love that. Low debt, that's good. When it comes to outstanding shares, they have been buying back aggressively. Well, not aggressively, but a nice 1% in the last 10 years, close to 1% in the last 5 years. Analysts are thinking that this company will grow about 15% in the next 5 years, annualized. So that's pretty nice. I will be using I think it's somewhere around 4. When we look at the historical multiple valuations, we're looking at fair value somewhere between $30 and $35, which will tell you that probably we are fair right now, or close to fair. When we look at the payback time, and if we were just to grow it at 1% and collect the free cash flow for the next 15 years, the fair value is somewhere between 51 to 62. When it comes to the discounted earnings valuation, if we grow the earnings at 3% a year and then discounted, multiply by 11 PE and discounted back, it will be somewhere between $11.5 to $20. Using the owner's earnings valuation, we're looking at a fair value of somewhere around $35 to $48. When we put everything together, all the numbers together, we're looking at a fair value somewhere between $30 and $39. So that will, if we were to take a 30% margin of safety from the highest number, higher assumption, that will be at 27%, $27. From the lower assumption at 30, that will be at $21. So an average of $25. And if you can see in the last the last year, the lowest it got, it was $24, and the higher that it goes, it was 36%. So at $36. So it has been between those times. I am buying it. I like the company. Probably looking at a turnaround once it hits somewhere around $36, $37. I will be actually maybe even $30. I will be looking at reevaluating and seeing if it is time to sell or not. So those are my thoughts. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you have any things that you disagree with me, please put them in the comment. And I hope that you have a nice one. Bye.